We flew through the air looking at the dirt, and it seemed like forever, and we were just looking at dirt through the windscreen thinking, oh, this is going to hurt. In 2004, I moved to Katherine up in the Northern Territory with the Air Force, and I started racing dirt bikes, motocross, and that led to a bit of enduro, and then a mate dared me to do Finke, and I said, don't be stupid, that's for the big boys, you know, we're only junior amateurs. And he said, no, come on, we'll do it. We trained for 6 months really hard, we raced Finke on dirt bikes. I did pretty well, I cracked into the top 100 out of 500 riders. So for an amateur, I was pretty proud of myself doing that. That's when I saw the trophy trucks roaring through the desert with 600-700 horsepower, and I just thought, that's for me, that's what I have to do. My dad had me working on cars since I was little. I think the first time I remember I was only about 5 or 6, and he said, come on, you're going to help me change spark plugs in his Mazda. And it just didn't stop from there. I just always wanted to be around cars and play with them, and sometimes you hate them and sometimes you love them, but you can't stop. My first car, I was 15, living up in Darwin, and I bought a HQ Kingswood for 1,500 bucks, painted blue with the sky blue with a paintbrush. And it had a bench seat and a 6-cylinder, and it was Granddad's car, an old Granddad's car. And I dressed it up to bright yellow Monaro look-alike, and shortly after that I bought a HQ 2-door Monaro with a V8. Loved that. After that was a 69 Mustang Fastback that I had for 18 years and did a complete nuts and bolts restoration. And recently sold that. In between I've had tough FJ40s with 400 Chevs, Dodge Phoenix with a 440, little Manx buggy, all sorts of, I don't follow one brand, I have all sorts of stuff. I bought my first truck, it was a Class 5 Ford Ranger I bought from Las Vegas, and put a LS in it and a Turbo 400. But I kept driving it like a trophy truck and breaking it, and it just wasn't a trophy truck because it had too much mild steel chassis work in it. So I sold that, and I had a pretty good paying gig for about 6 months working on helicopters FIFO, and I put all that money into a rolling chassis that I bought from Gavin Mickle from Mickle Fab down in Sydney. And I spent 2 years fitting that out with an LS and a Turbo 400, 10-inch diff, plumbed it, wired it, welded 68 brackets onto it. Basically took me a while, but I did it right, and I got it finished a couple of years ago. And yeah, that's the latest truck. I've only raced it about 4 times, but you know, money and work stops me racing as much as I'd like, but it's there ready to go now. I like doing things right and knowing that they're done right, and I've seen too many professionals take a few shortcuts and do things that are not quite as professional as I'd like. And the other reason was just money. To buy that truck turnkey was about $250,000, and I certainly don't have $250,000 sitting around for a race truck. I think I spent about 130 doing it myself, and that was just purely in parts, obviously. The only thing I think I outsourced was building the gearbox and dyno tuning it. I've had a few crashes, had more than I'd like to mention on dirt bikes. I've got a bit of a name for myself as a crash bandicoot or a ragdoll. Racing with the Class 5 I bought from Vegas, it had stock Ford stub axles because that's what it needed in that class in America. I was new to the sport, didn't realise they weren't going to cut the mustard. My brother was my navvy and we raced Finke. We lost a wheel at about 130, slid sideways into some trees and rolled it and smashed that one up. We fixed that, tried again, broke a ball joint, lost a wheel, didn't roll it the second time. Then I got into this truck. My very first outing, I had some pretty bad shock tuning advice from a mate that was supposed to know better with shock tuning, and I didn't have enough spring wound into the rear. I had a full tank of petrol, 200 litres, and 2 spares, and I hit a little kicker jump way too fast, and the back suspension was already compressed from acceleration, so I had nowhere to go, and it bounced off the bump stops with 200 psi in them, and it kicked the back up, and my mate Jay and I, Jay was navving, we flew through the air looking at the dirt, and it seemed like forever, and we were just looking at dirt through the windscreen thinking, oh, this is going to hurt. And we dug the nose in, hit the roof, slid, the back spare tyres dug in and flipped us right up in the air, and we came back down on the front left corner and smashed the suspension to bits. That was my nastiest crash. Jay broke 2 vertebrae in the middle of his back, had to get airlifted to Brisbane Hospital. I was okay, I saw stars and had a stiff neck, but I was all right. And we had 5 weeks to fix the truck for Fink, but we did, we fixed it, we did Fink without a problem. We finished Fink, that was my 4th attempt at Fink, and I finally finished, so that was pretty cool.
If you want to see up close and personal what makes one of these trophy trucks tick, stay tuned for tomorrow's episode where I get up close and personal with this trophy truck.